left-hand side, and then Bron sticks a big arm out and shoves him to the floor, grabbing his shoulder the whole time. And then as soon as Djenepo gets in front of him, that's when the Southampton man hits the floor. It's clever from Moussa Djenepo, but it's unwise from Bron. Djenepo's still down. Gonna need some attention. There's a stretcher on for Moussa Djenepo. I didn't think it was that bad, but it looks like that could be Djenepo's afternoon over. He's got to his feet now and is now walking off the field, and he's got the yellow card. Well, Sikazwe just give book Moussa Djenepo, even though it's going to be a Mali free kick. He must have said something, because that seems pretty baffling to me. I thought if anyone was going to go into the bucket, it was going to be Bron, but this is an opportunity for Mali. And it is Nos Traore standing over. It's about 10 yards or so in off the left-hand touchline. Whips it in with his left boot. It's a decent ball. It's thumped away in the middle of the goal. And then Tunisia nearly got on the third ball. Well, there's a bouncing ball that Sakho's going to have to deal with here. Medjbri gets his body in there, and then it's lashed away by Masadio Haidara all the way up and out into Ben Said's hands. And we're 33 minutes in. It's Tunisia 0, Mali 0, and there's still not been too many chances to report in this game. This is now Talbi, slips it into Malul, who's just over the halfway line on that far side. Poor ball though, and Mali come away with it through Amadou Haidara. He splits the Tunisian defence and finds Nos Traore. His ball's terrible though, out towards Moussa Djenepo. There was an opportunity there. If he found Djenepo, could have had a run, could have had a dart at Mathlouthi. Of course, has got a yellow card, but terrible pass. Really, really poor. But Tunisia start again here. This is now, that's a foul on Sliti. Samaseku getting his body in the way, body checking the Tunisian forward. And the Hoffenheim man was right in front of the referee, so he's never going to get away with that. So the 29-year-old wins his side free kick. This is an opportunity. He has scored 3 times in 11 previous Afcon appearances, has Naim Sliti, and Wabi Kazri is over this one. It's about 10 yards or so in off that far touchline. He's obviously got his right foot about to be whipped around it. Another centre-back is coming into the box, being waved forward. There's a one-man wall. Wabi Kazri, it's absolutely hopeless. Probably kind of sums up Tunisia's half, that really. Horrible free kick. Just way too much on it. Just lifts it straight out of play for a goal kick. And Munkoro can't believe his luck, because once again he still had absolutely nothing to do. And now he's going to take this goal kick. You'd have to say this game is there for the winning for either side, really. One of them can just take it by the scruff of that. Mali have had all that possession, of course, and certainly started the stronger, but haven't been very good, to be honest, in the last 10 minutes or so, really. This is now Nos Traore. They're going to square up Malul. Finds Malouda Traore. Back to Sakho. Into Koyate. Koyate fires it into Masadio Haidara's feet. Moussa Djenepo. Into Koyate again. All now back inside the Mali half. With Sakho. Over the halfway line to Hamari Traore. Back to Falai Sakho, who finds Nos Traore. Well, it was not a great ball, but he did well with it in the end. And comes to Samaseku. Now Kone, who's got his man pinned, spins him, rolls him. Still going Kone. Does well. Finds Moussa Djenepo, who's on the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's a brilliant ball in the back post. And somehow it was a Malouda Traore flying in. Doesn't get anything on it. Ben Said came out really unconvincingly, it was an open goal. He just had to make contact in Malouda Traore, and as the cross comes in, he just ducks underneath it. It's an absolutely wonderful cross from Moussa Djenepo, so inviting and teasing. It taunts Ben Said to come out, then he realises in trouble, and Malouda Traore can't stretch, and the score remains Tunisia 0, Mali 0. But that is, in the context of this game especially, a massive opportunity. This is Mathlouthi. Koyate comes flying over the top and has left himself out of position. It's Mathlouthi now bearing down on goal. He pulls it back, blocked by Masadio Haidara, and Falai Sako thumps it away. And the danger is averted for Mali, but that all came from Kiko Koyate coming charging out of his position to try and win a ball that wasn't there to be won. And in the end, he's been covered by his left back and his centre back partner. But 38 minutes in, Tunisia 0, Mali 0. It's going to be a long throw by the looks of it from Mathlouthi. He's in line with, I'd say he's in line with the penalty spot actually on this near hand side. He's got an Olympic running track to use as a run up. Here he comes now. Mathlouthi launches it into the box. It's absolutely terrible, and it was going straight into Munkoro's hands, but a lack of communication. So Koyate head out to play for a corner, and can Tunisia now punish the Eagles from this corner? Sliti will go over to take it. It's going to be an outswinger from him. Of course, they've not had any opportunities really, have Tunisia? One other corner that came to nothing. Can this one be a bit better? Sliti got 5 men in there, whips it into the back post, thumped away, comes out to Kazri, who's lashed it high and wide, but free kicks, whistle's gone anyway. Going to be a free kick to Mali, so it wouldn't have counted no matter what. It was a poor shot from Kazri actually. Coming in on that right hand side of the penalty area, it's actually handball given against Talbi there. Bit unlucky really, sort of as the ball came in, he goes to try and poke it in with his leg and it just catches his arm. And Mali start again through Sako. We've got 5 minutes or so until half time. Still Tunisia 0, Mali 0 here. Traore lifts it forward over the top. Kone in a race with Talbi and Djenepo, and in the end the 23-year-old centre back has done very well there and squeezes it out of play for a throw that Mali have taken very quickly. And Amadou Haidara has found Masadio Haidara, who's encouraged to shoot and lines up the effort and rattles the side netting. Classic, well, it was a fantastic strike by Masadio Haidara. He caught it really well, and Ben Said will say he had it covered, but it thumped into that side net and that near side netting. Kone did well, held it up, and then came into Masadio Haidara and he thumped his shot into that near side net. He has had a strong game, has Masadio Haidara, down this left hand side. Why not have a go? About 25 yards out, space opened up for him. Why not have a shot? We've got a problem here because Mali just forced the ball out of play there. It was it had a swerve on it. You'd say Ben Said might not have even had cover. He dived very late, did the 27-year-old. And the ball's been knocked all the way back to Munkoro, who's arguably probably not had too many easy afternoons in this one so far. Although Mali don't concede a lot of goals, so you never know. Koyate lifts it forward in towards Kone, wins his flick on. Djenepo has now switched over to the right wing. So Djenepo is going to have a run at Maloul, and Malouda Traore is on to the left. So a bit of a change in formation from the Eagles. Magasuba obviously wanting to try something a bit different as Tunisia have the ball deep inside their own half, inside their own box. The end, Sakiri's had to drop so deep and then fired a ball over the top, and Sliti's going to get there. That was a fantastic ball. Sliti now squaring up his man, gets his cross in, blocked. Traore covers. It was Samaseku who made the block. And Mali start again. Poor pass out by Samaseku though, only as far as Mejbri, who travels infield. finds Ledouni, who gets onto his right foot and hits the shot, and it's blocked by Kouyaté. And Tunisia then can't make anything of it, and then it's thumped into the air, flicked on by Nos Traoré, Adama Traoré in a race with Mathlouthi. Gets there, flicks it infield, and then plays it back comfortably to Massadio Haidara. And Mali start again through Amadou Haidara. And this is now Falai Sakho, the right centre-back. Finds Hamari Traoré, all still in the Mali half this, so no danger to Tunisia as of yet. Nos Traoré with a nice turn around the corner, then Djenepo, lovely play into Kone, back to Moussa Djenepo. Can he find Kone again? No, he can't, because that was an absolutely wonderful challenge to deny him. And Tunisia have the ball again. Wabi Kazri inside his own half, under pressure from Kouyaté, lifts it out to the far side. There's a bit of space here for Maloul to advance into. Here he goes, Maloul. Whips it into the box. It's a poor ball, and Massadio Haidara comfortably heads it away. This is Wabi Kazri taking on the former Newcastle man, Haidara. Sunderland against Newcastle, and his cross was really poor. He got it past Haidara, but couldn't get it anywhere else. And now it's back with Ifa. And now into Bron, who can travel over the halfway line and start something for Tunisia. Wabi Kazri touches poor. Amadou Haidara, Nos Traoré into the corner in the centre circle, who's driving at the ball, and Ledouni's made a foul, and he's made a couple of fouls now. He should probably be in the book for this. I've been impressed with Kone. He's a big lad. He's as wide as he is tall, and he's just really direct and bustling, and there he's won his side a free kick and potentially got Ledouni in the book. He had no one to pass to, did Kone. Just turned and started charging towards the white shirts. Well, Ledouni seems to have potentially got away with it. We've got a minute or so to go until half time. Well, until we see how much added time we've got. It's going to be a free kick, dead centre. I'd say 40 yards from goal here. This is hard to do anything with. It is totally down the throat. The only thing you can do really is chip it to either post, either the right-hand side or the left-hand side, and then head it back across. That's exactly what he does, Nos Traoré. Cleared though at the first attempt, then picked up by Amadou Haidara, who's got Massadio Haidara with him. And then he's made a run. It was Malouda Traoré, who's then bundled his man over. And we'll have a free kick for Tunisia. And Mali have definitely been the better team, but really struggled in the final third. Tunisia have defended well. Ben Said's not had anything to do really, and neither has Munkoro. It's been disappointing from Tunisia from an attacking point of view. I think they'll probably be quite happy with how they've done defensively, and I think Mali will be disappointed with that they've not been able to make more of the possession that they've had. We're now into added time. Flicked off by Sliti. Tunisia inside their own half finds Mejbri over the halfway line. It's got Mathlouthi with him, who can square up Massadio Haidara. Instead slips it back to Bron, and Bron lifts one over towards Ifa. Ifa over the halfway line finds Sliti. Ledouni now back into Bron as that right-sided centre-back. He drives over the halfway line, finds Mathlouthi, who tries to find Mejbri. It's poor, it's dealt with by Massadio Haidara, but then it's a poor lunge by Kouyaté, and this is Kazri skipping inside on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Mejbri, Kazri shoots, superb block by Massadio Haidara to deny him. Djenepo then clears for Mali. Ledouni picks it up, and then this is Sliti. Sliti clips it into the back post, straight into the arms of Munkoro, who is in no rush. That was an opportunity for Tunisia. Nice interplay. It was a poor positional sense from Kouyaté, who came rushing out, left himself exposed on that left-hand side. And then the ball was played a 1-2 between Mejbri and Kazri, laid back to Kazri on about 14 yards from goal, and Massadio Haidara flung himself in front of it and made a strong challenge to keep the score at Tunisia 0, Mali 0. And we've got about 20 seconds or so left. No one in any hurry now, just waiting for the half-time whistle. Sakho, and there is the half-time whistle think Sekwazwe realised that neither team were bothered about that. So half-time here is Tunisia 0, Mali 0. Certainly room for improvement in this game. Not been a whole lot of excitement, certainly not a lot of goal-mouth action. Kiki Koyate had the best chance with a free header from about 12 yards out, but he couldn't direct it on target. Tunisia have offered almost nothing going forward. Mali have had a lot of possession without doing too much. But half-time score here in the Limbe Stadium is Tunisia 0, Mali.
Looking ahead to the next round of action coming up for you on this service.
Here we got latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Hill. 7-time Olympic gold medalist Jason Ken has been made a knight, and his wife Laura, a 5-time Olympic champion, a dame in the New Year's honours list. Jason, who now 33, became the most successful British Olympian at the Tokyo Games. 29-year-old Laura, the joint most decorated female athlete for Team GB. US Open champion Emma Raducanu becomes an MBE. Swimmer Adam Peaty of OBE. Tom Daly receives an OBE for his services to diving, as well as LGBTQ plus rights. 27-year-old Daly became a household name from 14 and finally became an Olympic champion in Japan alongside Matty Lee, who also becomes an MBE. There were other awards, the likes of Kadina Cox, Flora Duffy, Kirani James, Jodie Cundy, in what was a successful haul for some of Britain's brightest stars at the Olympics and Paralympics. Elsewhere in Tunisian football, Antonio Conte has warned that it will take some time in the January transfer window to turn his side into the Premier League top 4 challengers. Conte is planning a meeting with Chairman Daniel Levy and footballing Managing Director Fabio Paratici to discuss the plans for January, having made his initial assessments on his squad. The Italian has been vocal about extra quality being required despite them uplifting in their performances from the squad to go from mid-table to potential top 4 challengers. He says, though, there is no real fix that will see the club make ground on Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United by the end of the window. Elsewhere then, and Declan Rice is a player that David Moyes wants to build his team around rather than sell. Plays his 150th Premier League game for the Hammers when they visit Crystal Palace on New Year's Day. Rice has built on his Euro 2020 performances, attracting England's leading clubs, but his contract runs until 2024 with the option of another year. Moyes said Declan's under a long contract, so from that point of view we've not got a big panic on. We've no intention of selling him. My job is to keep building the club and level up. Elsewhere, and Brentford have signed former Huddersfield and Everton goalkeeper Jonas Lossell on initial loan from Danish side Midtjylland. The Bees have an option to make the deal permanent, which would trigger a contract through to the summer of 2023 for the 32-year-old Dane. The first choice keeper David Raya is still sidelined with a long-term knee injury he sustained in October. Jack Cancelo is also planning to play this weekend for Man City and is part of the squad, despite confirming he was injured in a robbery. The 27-year-old suffered cuts to his face after attempting to fight off a gang of 4 intruders at his home. The medical staff have assessed the Portugal international and cleared him to play at the Emirates. Into news in American football, and Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss Sunday's must-win game against the Green Bay Packers. He is reportedly unvaccinated and was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list for the second time in 2021 after he was also in the NFL's health and safety protocol during the pre-season in August. And finally into news in cricket, Kieran Pollard will return to captain the West Indies in their upcoming white ball series against England and Ireland. He missed the recent tour of Pakistan, and because of a hamstring injury he suffered at the 2020 World Cup, he will now return to try and get his team to victory. That's all then for the latest headlines. We'll have more news later. Has warned that it will take some time in the January transfer window to turn his side into the Premier League top 4 challengers. Conte is planning a meeting with Chairman Daniel Levy and footballing the Managing Director Fabio Paratici to discuss the plans for January, having made his initial assessment on his squad. The Italian has been vocal about extra quality being required despite the uplifting in their performances from the squad to go from mid-table to potential top 4 challengers. He says though there is no real fix that will see the club make ground on Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United by the end of the window. Elsewhere then, and Declan Rice is a player that David Moyes wants to build his team around rather than sell. Plays his 150th Premier League game for the Hammers when they visit Crystal Palace on New Year's Day. Rice has built on his Euro 2020 performances, attracting England's leading clubs, but his contract runs until 2024 with the option of another year. Moyes said Declan's under a long contract, so from that point of view we've not got a big panic on. We've no intention of selling him. My job is to keep building the club and level up. Elsewhere, and Brentford have signed former Huddersfield and Everton goalkeeper Jonas Lossell on an initial loan from Danish side Midtjylland. The Bees have an option to make the deal permanent, which would trigger a contract through to the summer of 2023 for the 32-year-old Dane. The first choice keeper David Raya is still sidelined with a long-term knee injury he sustained in October. Jack Cancelo is also planning to play this weekend for Man City and is part of the squad, despite confirming he was injured in a robbery. The 27-year-old suffered cuts to his face after attempting to fight off a gang of 4 intruders at his home. The medical staff have assessed the Portugal international and cleared him to play at the Emirates. Into news in American football, and Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss Sunday's must-win game against the Green Bay Packers. He is reportedly unvaccinated and was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list for the second time in 2021 after he was also in the NFL's health and safety protocol during the pre-season in August. And finally into news in cricket, Kieran Pollard will return to captain the West Indies in their upcoming white ball series against England and Ireland. He missed the recent tour of Pakistan, and because of a hamstring injury he suffered at the 2020 World Cup, he will now return to try and get his team to victory. That's all then for the latest headlines. We'll have more news later. Here we are, latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Hill. 7-time Olympic gold medalist Jason Kenny has been made a knight, and his wife Laura, a 5-time Olympic champion, a dame in the New Year's honours list. Jason, who now 33, became the most successful British Olympian at the Tokyo Games. 29-year-old Laura, the joint most decorated female athlete for Team GB. US Open champion Emma Raducanu becomes an MBE. Summer Adam PT and OBE. Tom Daley receives an OBE for his services to diving, as well as LGBTQ plus rights. 27-year-old Daley became a household name from 14 and finally became an Olympic champion in Japan alongside Matty Lee, who also becomes an MBE. There were other awards, the likes of Kadina Cox, Flora Duffy, Kirani James, Jodie Cundy, in what was a successful haul for some of Britain's brightest stars at the Olympics and Paralympics. Elsewhere into news in football, Antonio Conte has warned that it will take some time in the January transfer window to turn his side into the Premier League top 4 challengers. Conte is planning a meeting with Chairman Daniel Levy and footballing the Managing Director Fabio Paratici to discuss the plans for January, having made his initial assessment on his squad. The Italian has been vocal about extra quality being required despite the uplifting in their performances from the squad to go from mid-table to potential top 4 challengers. He says though there is no real fix that will see the club make ground on Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United by the end of the window. Elsewhere then, and Declan Rice is a player that David Moyes wants to build his team around rather than sell. Plays his 150th Premier League game for the Hammers when they visit Crystal Palace on New Year's Day. Rice has built on his Euro 2020 performances, attracting England's leading clubs, but his contract runs until 2024 with the option of another year. Moyes said Declan's under a long contract, so from that point of view we've not got a big panic on. We've no intention of selling him. My job is to keep building the club and level up. Elsewhere, and Brentford have signed former Huddersfield and Everton goalkeeper Jonas Lossell on an initial loan from Danish side Midtjylland. The Bees have an option to make the deal permanent, which would trigger a contract through to the summer of 2023 for the 32-year-old Dane. The first choice keeper David Raya is still sidelined with a long-term knee injury he sustained in October. João Cancelo is also planning to play this weekend for Man City and is part of the squad, despite confirming he was injured in a robbery. 27-year-old suffered cuts to his face after attempting to fight off a gang of 4 intruders at his home. The medical staff have assessed the Portugal international and cleared him to play at the Emirates. Into news in American football, and Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss Sunday's must-win game against the Green Bay Packers. He is reportedly unvaccinated and was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list for the second time in 2021 after he was also in the NFL's health and safety protocol during the pre-season in August. And finally, into news in cricket, Kieran Pollard will return to captain the West Indies in their upcoming white ball series against England and Ireland. He missed the recent tour of Pakistan, and because of a hamstring injury he suffered at the 2020 World Cup, he will now though return to try and get his team to victory. That's all then for the latest headlines. We'll have more news later. Here we are, latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Hill. 7-time Olympic gold medalist Jason Kenny has been made a knight, and his wife Laura, a 5-time Olympic champion, a dame in the New Year's honours list. Jason, who now 33, became the most successful British Olympian at the Tokyo Games. 29-year-old Laura, the joint most decorated female athlete for Team GB. US Open champion Emma Raducanu becomes an MBE. Summer Adam Peaty an OBE. Tom Daley receives an OBE for his services to diving, as well as LGBTQ plus rights. 27-year-old Daley became a household name from 14 and finally became an Olympic champion in Japan alongside Matty Lee, who also becomes an MBE. There were other awards, the likes of Kadina Cox, Flora Duffy, Kirani James, Jodie Cundy, in what was a successful haul for some of Britain's brightest stars at the Olympics and Paralympics. Elsewhere into news in football, Antonio Conte has warned that it will take some time in the January transfer window to turn his side into the Premier League top 4 challengers. Conte is planning a meeting with Chairman Daniel Levy and footballing the managing director Fabio Paratici to discuss the plans for January, having made his initial assessment on his squad. The Italian has been vocal about extra quality being required despite the uplifting in their performances from the squad to go from mid-table to potential top 4 challengers. He says though there's no real fix that will see the club make ground on Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United by the end of the window. Elsewhere then, and Declan Rice is a player that David Moyes wants to build his team around rather than sell. Plays his 150th Premier League game for the Hammers when they visit Crystal Palace on New Year's Day. Rice has built on his Euro 2020 performances, attracting England's leading clubs, but his contract runs until 2024 with the option of another year. Moyes said Declan's under a long contract, so from that point of view we've not got a big panic on. We've no intention of selling him. My job is to keep building the club and level up. Elsewhere, and Brentford have signed former Huddersfield and Everton goalkeeper Jonas Lossell on an initial loan from Danish side Midtjylland. The Bees have an option to make the deal permanent, which would trigger a contract through to the summer of 2023 for the 32-year-old Dane. The first choice keeper David Raya is still sidelined with a long-term knee injury he sustained in October. João Cancelo is also planning to play this weekend for Man City and is part of the squad, despite confirming he was injured in a robbery. 27-year-old suffered cuts to his face after attempting to fight off a gang of 4 intruders at his home. The medical staff have assessed the Portugal international and cleared him to play at the Emirates. Into news in American football, and Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss Sunday's must-win game against the Green Bay Packers. He is reportedly unvaccinated and was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list for the second time in 2021 after he was also in the NFL's health. And Ireland. He missed the recent tour of Pakistan, and because of a hamstring injury he suffered at the 2020 World Cup, he will now though return to try and get his team to victory. That's all then for the latest headlines. We'll have more news later.
pistol. Up steps Kone, slams it into the net. Fantastic penalty from Ibrahima Kone to give Mali the lead and score his 6th goal in his last 4 games. And they run over to celebrate with the Mali fans. And Magasuba, well, very reserved reaction from the Mali manager. Kone, definitely not a reserved reaction from him. Deserved lead for Mali, has to be said. It's a great penalty. Sends Ben Said the wrong way. Even if he dived that way, he probably was going to save it because he's absolutely lashed it into the side netting. And he's made it Tunisia 0, Mali 1. And now, if Tunisia were going to sit back, well, they can't do that anymore because they've got work to do. Mali have the lead. Will they build on it? Or are they going to maybe sit back? The way they've played so far would suggest they're not going to sit back, but I'm hoping to see something more from Tunisia. The Mali fans are absolutely loving it here in Limbe. Sakiri still can't believe it. I do think it was a harsh penalty, has to be said. Here come Tunisia now through Mathlouti. There's that right wing back. Are they even going to maybe change formation perhaps? Because it's been very, very defensive so far. Slip through the midfield. Sakiri picks it up, trying to redeem himself. Picks it up on the edge of the area. And finds all the way up, in the end plays it all the way back to Ledouni. And this is now Bron, but Tunisia advanced in the Mali half. Tries to play it inside, but Janepo filling in for Haidara. Oh, the ball's bounced. Kone jumps over his man. Wants a foul, not going to get it. Ledouni starts it all over again. Sliti now spins in the Mali half. Ledouni finds Sakiri into Mathlouti, well, no, Bron into Mathlouti. He whips it into the box. It's long, it's high, it might drop. It does drop for Maloul, but he's beaten to it comfortably by Malouda Traore, who's then had the composure to bring it down as well. And Hamari Traore clears up to Kone, who's just a big lump, just gets his body in the way, makes it really awkward. Been really impressed with him so far. And as I said, that international record is fantastic. This is now back with Bron inside his own half as that right-sided centre-back into Talbia, whips it across to Ifa, who's inside the Mali half now on that near side. Ledouni tries to slip it through. It's a good touch, and it's a brilliant interception. Sakiri was advancing away, and here come Mali through Malouda Traore, who dances past one, then slips it into Nos Traore. Kone's made a good run. He finds Malouda Traore. He cuts in onto his right foot. Can he finish it? He goes round the keeper. He looks like he's brought down. Sikwazwe not interested. Play continues. Malouda Traore is still down in the box, but Tunisia play on. They're not going to knock it out of play for anything like that. Malouda Traore is still down. Wabi Kazri goes for goal. I mean, that would have been an absolutely incredible goal from Wabi Kazri. He spotted Munkoro off his line and he went for it. And it went over the bar, and it's a chance for Malouda Traore to get some attention. But this will be a much, much better start to the second half. 51 minutes in, Tunisia 0, Mali 1. And of course, straight after this, we have the second game of Group F. And and obviously it stays the same. This Mali take the win, but perhaps Gambia or Mauritania will be looking at this thinking, oh, well, if we get a win, Tunisia are in trouble. I mean, that Traore here goes round the keeper, and then as he pushes the ball away, Ben Said absolutely cleans him out. I mean, I wasn't sure about the first penalty, but I'm pretty convinced that's a penalty. Oh, actually, seeing it on that other angle. Actually, maybe not, but well, the referee's coming over here. Malouda Traore has been instructed to go off the field. Yeah, it looked like a penalty initially, and then you see from the reverse angle, Malouda Traore has already fallen over as Ben Said comes in and catches him with his head. Not happy though is Magasuba. He remonstrating with the fourth official. Still remonstrating with the fourth official. I mean, I'd say that's kind of even. They got a dodgy penalty, and then that would have been another dodgy penalty as well, actually. So it's not actually even at all. This is Malouda Traore about to re-enter the field of play. Munkoro gets us underway with the goal kick, long into the Tunisia half. two Tunisia heads go up for it. Thumping header forward by Harmy Traore. That's found Cornet. That was brilliant. Cornet picks it up on the edge of the area, swings it into the box. Djenepo hits the floor. Wants a penalty. Well, in the end, it's a foul by Moussa Djenepo. Well, the flag's gone up, actually. Offside. It was clever play by the right back initially, Harmy Traore, who just nodded it into an area, and Cornet gave chase and got to the right hand side of the penalty area, then just swung a hopeful ball in the box more than anything, and Djenepo fouled his man. And Tunisia start again inside their own half through Ifa, under some pressure, and plays it all the way back to Ben Said, who, well, you know, you dive the wrong way on a penalty, you can't blame him for anything really, and apart from that, he still had nothing to do. This is now Talbi, the central Tunisian centre-back, but Mali are pressing high up the field here, not letting Tunisia get out, and they've just dinked it straight off play for a throw that Massadio Haidar will take. Koyate came well, we're just looking at the penalty decision once again. It's a good play from Koyate, sensed an opportunity. This is now back with Falai Sako, who plays it forward into Hamari Traore. Poor though. Now Tunisia have a break through Sliti over the halfway line. Finds Wabi Kazri. Clinging onto this near side. Bit of a tongue twister there. Samaseku gets his body in. Picked up by Leduni. Sliti again. Dances through one and is cleaned out on the edge of the area. And this is a chance for the Eagles of Carthage to get an equaliser. Amadou Haidara with the foul. Hamari Traore protesting. Just catches Sliti as he's trying to advance into the box. And Wabi Kazri spotted it. And it's an opportunity for him to get his 23rd Tunisian goal. 55 minutes gone, Tunisia 0, Mali 1, but this is probably Tunisia's best opportunity of getting something in this game so far. It's a good penalty from Cornet. Deserved as well. I like that one, the striker as well, even one who's not been in the senior team for so long, takes the ball and asserts his authority. So this free kick, very, very left of centre, perfect for the right foot of Wabi Kazri. It's about 22 yards from goal. There's a huge Mali wall though that he has to negotiate, including the centre-back Kouyate and the goal scorer Kone. 4-man Mali wall. 2 Tunisian players standing as a decoy if he wanted to go for the goalkeeper's side. So Sikazwe will blow his whistle. And up steps Kazri over the bar and pushed up and over by Munkoro. His first save of note he's had to make. Didn't deal with it too convincingly, but he got out of play for a corner. Either side from Wabi Kazri, probably a goal, but in the end straight down the middle. He's on the corner though, he takes it short to Sliti, back to Kazri, who plays it infield. This is much better from Tunisia. Maloul to the back post, Ifa, Sakiri nods it wide from about 4 yards out, and Mali survive. Massive opportunity missed by Sakiri. Brilliant header back across by Ifa, and he really should be scoring from there. It would have been the perfect redemption for giving away the penalty. He just can't stretch and get up enough and direct it on target. But this is better from Tunisia, being woken from their slumber by that corner penalty. Yeah, Munkoro, you know, he dealt with, well, we've got a player down. It's very, very hot on the stretchers come on, and it looks like it is the end for Nos Traore. Tunisia players complain about something, but that is now going to be an opportunity to see the Brighton man, Yves Bissouma. So we wondered why he wasn't in the team. Well, he's coming on now. And I mean, Bissouma, you know, he's been linked with Liverpool, he's been linked with Manchester United. It's a shame for Nos Traore. I thought he's played pretty well in that rolling behind corners, few good set-piece deliveries. But he just went down totally off the ball and he's been stretchered off the field. He's not lying down or needing anything like any gas and air or anything. So hopefully he will be okay. But he looks to be finished for this afternoon, and we'll be seeing the 25-year-old midfielder about to make his 19th appearance for his country in Yves Bissouma. But we're back underway. Traoré, Hamari Traoré, that is, the right back, launching it forward. Flicked on, picked up by Sakiri, who's coming into the game more since he gave away that penalty. Leidouni finds Wabi Kazri on this near side. In Slitty goes round two, pulls it back across. And Leidouni can't get there because Masadio Haidara stabs it away, but Mali suddenly now clinging on a bit. They haven't pushed on since they got the goal, and Tunisia have been the better side. That is indeed the substitute. So on comes Bissouma. Not played for his country since 2018, but he's making his return now. And as I said, in terms of in the Premier League, he is one of the best midfielders at breaking up play and passing in that Brighton side. He is a fantastic player, and it'd be interesting to see who moves into the further forward spot. Perhaps Amadou Haidara, who again another player being linked with big Premier League moves. Obviously already at a big club in Leipzig in Germany, but he has been linked with Manchester United, and just today Newcastle United have launched a move for him as well. So we could be seeing Amadou Haidara in the Premier League soon. Moncoro's goal kick sails over everyone and picked up by Ifa in his left centre-back role, but he fires it off someone, and Kone picks it up. Djenepo can't get there. Here's Bissouma for an instant impact. Flicks it out to Masadio Haidara on the edge of the area. Djenepo makes the overlap and run. Finds Djenepo to the byline. Brilliant play. Looks like he's been brought down. Sikazwe not interested, and Tunisia clear their lines. Koyate then forced to dink it out of play. And 60 minutes in, Tunisia 0, Mali 1. But that looked like a good penalty shout. Djenepo did so well on that far side. Pushed it past his man, got to the byline. It was Mathlouthi as well. Oh, looking at that, I mean, his leg catches him, Djenepo, and I think he's unlucky there to not get a penalty. We do have VAR, of course. I assume a check is underway. It is indeed. Magasuba looking rather unhappy. Sikazwe penalty. Well, I would like to see another look at that, because it looked like a good shout from Djenepo, but Tunisia survived yet another penalty shout. This is Mathlouthi back to Bron. Now Talbi, the central centre-back, finds Bron again, and now this is Leidouni, who's dropped very, very deep and then plays it all the way out. Play for a throw. He's telling Leidouni, his manager's not happy, telling him to keep it on the floor. He tried to find Maloul on this near side, got it horribly wrong. Hamari Traoré into Kone. His touch lets him down though. Pretty much one of the first times I've said that this afternoon. This is now Talbi again into Ron, who slides it into Mathlouthi over the halfway line. He clips one in the direction of Sakiri. Over acrobatic clearance. Bissouma and Samaseku trying to get there ahead of Leidouni. Leidouni managed to squeeze it out to Malou. That's a really good ball, actually. He can now find Traoré, slips it into... Well, it's cleared. And then this is Malouda Traoré driving over the halfway line. Here he goes. Past one. Can't get past Ifa, though, because what an absolutely superb challenge that was from Ifa.
And 3 badly balked, might have been injured. 5 in front by 5 lengths, Fire Joe from 6 Alana's Lab. 1 Brock Snowflake, 4 Snooty Rose and 2 Fly High Trapeze. Tailed off 3 Emily's Charm. .358, no race, Monmore. And the hare's on its way for the 8th. An A1, 132 for the Racing Post, the 358 at Monmore. 11 to 4 the field, 3 and 5 head the market. Emily's Charm and Fire Joe respectively, and at Monmore for the 8th on the card, category A1. Here approaching the traps and they're off and racing, and 1 leads 3, then 2, 5, 4 and 6 on the run up, 1.5 in front of 5, then 3, 2, 4 and 6 first 2 bends. 5's gone on clear and some crowding, and 3 badly balked, might have been injured. 5 in front by 5 lengths, Fire Joe from 6 Alana's Lab. 1 Brock Snowflake, 4 Snooty Rose and 2 Fly High Trapeze. Tailed off 3 Emily's Charm after an early incident into the straight. 2 lengths and the hare's been stopped, no race. 358, no race, Monmore. And the hare's on its way for the 8th. An A1, 132 for the Racing Post, the 358 at Monmore.
Returning to work. Allez les gars, parlez. Talent. Bravo, le délai, jouez. Joue là. Encore. Ganago, amical, va sortir. On est sorti. Combien? C'est le premier. C'est qui sortit déjà? Ganago, prêt. Ganago, prêt. Qui a sorti là-bas? Qui sort? Ganago est prêt. Je sors. Marc, regarde-moi. C'est bon. On a compris. Ok? Et les gars, allez, on bout. Vas-y à fond. T'entends. Bien joué. On a Jam. Avance. On avance. Vas-y, tu es au côté. Il ne part pas. Il recule. Chamba, joue. Take your man. No pushing, no pulling, hands off. Don't use your head. Hands off. Away. Tu restes là, il va venir, tu laisses. Pote. C'est une zone. Je ne peux pas dire de prendre le marquage. Sinon j'allais le prendre. Mouvement. Joue là. Viens encore. Joue là. En avant. Gagne maintenant. Gagne. Fermez, Bill. Debout.
Vas-y, laisse-toi, viens. Non.
Mumi. Tell. Debout, debout. Bien joué, Vicky. Allez, les gars, parlez. Talent. Bravo, le délai, c'est jouez. C'est deux. Joue là. Encore. Debout là-bas, calme. Debout, joue. pied sur la balle, mets le pied sur la balle. Milan, on connaît déjà. 4 d'abord, 4 d'abord. 2, regarde-moi. Vas-y. Venez. Mike, à la poule de là. Mike, c'est après Bilan, Boum. Passe. Mike. Encore Mike, alors. T'as battu de là. Mike, encore à droite. Joue là. Battez. Bien joué. Too fast against. Ganago, amical, va sortir. On est sorti. Combien? C'est le premier. C'est qui sortit des camps? Ganago, prêt. Ganago, pas ici, a sorti là-bas. Qui sort? Ganago est prêt. Regarde, ils sont ici. Je sors. Marc, regarde-moi. Je reste là. C'est bon. Il reste là. Oui. On a compris. Jamba, colle. Ok? Et les gars, allez, au bout. Vas-y, à fond. T'entends. Bien joué. Bien, Jan. Avance. On avance. Vas-y, tu es un côté. Il ne part pas. Il recule. Tamba, joue. Take your man. No pushing, no pulling, hands off. Don't use your head. Hands off. Away. Tu restes là, il va venir, tu sais. Pote. Parlez. C'est une zone. Je peux pas dire de prendre le marquage. Sinon j'allais le prendre. Bloque le grand. Mouvement. Joue là. Viens encore. Joue là. En avant. Come on.